Welcome back, everybody. And that was Norby's Bad once again.
That was my bad. My apologies.
Yeah, all good. But I want to welcome everybody once again to Freaky Tales on this Sunday evening. I hope everybody's having a freaky night. If not, it's time to get freaky. My guest tonight is no stranger to our podcast. She's been on my other podcast, Rhodium Radio, and she was a guest on Freaky Tales many moons ago. And I just want to welcome her. Let's give her a round of applause. Liliflor, how are you doing?
What's up? I'm doing good.
I'm glad you're here.
Yay, I'm glad I'm here. What's up? Rhodium Radio, Warriors, and Freaky Tales.
Absolutely. Okay, you know what, Lily? The last time you were here was on Freaky Tales, February 10th, 2023. So that means next month it'll be 2 years.
Wow, it's been a while.
It's been a while. So I'm actually glad that you're back once again, almost 2 years. Wow, too long.
Time flies by.
Yes. You know, Lily, for those that are probably for now barely being introduced to you, can you kind of give a little bit of what you do? I know you consider yourself artivist?
An artivist.
Artivist. Okay. Can you kind of explain that and kind of give us a little background of what you do for those that are barely being introduced to you? And your tag should be up on the screen so they can follow you as well.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Lilia Ramirez, also known as Liliflor, and I go by on my IG and all my platforms of Liliflor Art. But I'm, like Tony said, I'm an artivist, and that means an artist, an activist. I am an advocate for the community, specifically Native Indigenous communities throughout Los Angeles and globally as well. I do that through my art, and I do different types of works. My art has been exhibited at the Chichmarin this last year at Chichmarin Museum, Indigenous Futurism, and also I'm right now at Plaza de Artes y Culturas, okay. And where else I have been at the Getty Museum. So I'm right now doing a lot of museum gigs after like almost 30 years of putting in work. Wow. And doing it from the streets to the bars to community events. And now I'm doing museums. So I put in my time, and now I'm seeing a little bit of the rewards, and I'm also a vetted artist, and I'm, also writing my grants. And I actually just got a grant. I got awarded through the city of Los Angeles through the Department of Cultural Affairs, and I'll be doing a mural in Lincoln Heights starting in the spring. And that's what I do. And right now I'm actually going to start working. I don't know if I haven't told you, but I am actually going back into teaching and working in the youth camps.
Awesome.
For incarcerated youth and continuation schools. And that's what I do. I bring art to the community as a form of healing and for empowerment. That's what I do. Aside from that, I love what you do. I love Freaky Tales. I'm into esoteric work too as well, or learning and the knowledge. And my background is world art and cultural studies from UCLA. And so I'm very interested in different types of world cultures and different theologies and philosophies and that kind of thing. So
wow.
I'm always interested.
You're a great speaker, Lily. You know what? Do you give a lot of lectures? Do you give speeches?
Actually, I do. I guest lecture for different universities. I'm on panels and that kind of thing. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, as far as your work, as far as your art, is any of the stuff for sale?
Yes, it is actually. Yeah. The museum work is not all for sale because they pay me to exhibit. Yes. Most artists and museums, you don't see price tags because they pay us to be in the museums. Okay. But for galleries and local galleries and things like that, I do sell them. And also on my online website shop, you could buy my work as well, or visit me, do an appointment, and come and buy an original art.
Okay. So I know your tag, when they follow you, the link to your website is in your bio, if I'm correct?
Yes, it's in my bio.
Okay, there it is, guys. So if you guys are interested in work or buying some of her work as far as art is concerned, go to her, follow her, go to her link in her bio, go to her website, look at her stuff. If there's anything else you want to look at, do you? Let's just say that I was somebody watching tonight and I said, okay, look, I think she does great work, but I want a painting of this. Do you do
commission work?
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I do commission work, and I only do 4 commissions a year because, I also sit down talk to my clients, see
Yes.
what they're about, and I do commission work. The only thing that I do ask is the people that hire me is that they give me artistic freedom. You're hiring me for my talent and for my vision, and if you have to trust my work and my style, and most of all, my customers, my patrons. When I say customers, say patrons and art collectors. They give me that freedom, and that's why they hire me. I'm actually working on one right now. It's going to be really good, though.
Okay, now let me ask you a freaky art question. If anything, you said commission. What is the freakiest painting or that you ever did? Is there anything that kind of
Freaky.
like you were like, what the hell? Are you serious, dude? You want that?
Well, not freaky in the way like scary, freaky or anything like that. Right now, I'm working on one. Well, I'm going to start working. I just picked it up on Tuesday before all the winds hit up. Anyway, so I picked it up, and it's from a woman that divorced her ex, and actually I painted them. They commissioned me. One of my collectors commissioned me to paint her and her ex. Now she called me on the day of the divorce, the final divorce, and said, I want him out. And so I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? And she's like, put some snakes or whatever you want, like put a head, I don't know, 3 heads, whatever. Just be creative, do whatever you want. You can make it beautiful. You can make it, give a message. So I told her, okay, just give it to me. And so I haven't started it. I'm actually just put it in my studio. I'm going to look at it and then see what comes up.
Okay.
So that's the only one that's I think is exciting right now for me.
Now I have to ask you, because just so that way they don't come at you sideways. What if a guy sends you a picture of him, this noodle, standing like this, and he told you, go ahead and use your creative, art.
Hell yeah, I'll do it. Hell, I'll be like Diego Rivera. I'm down. Are there any models out there? I'm down to paint you. I'm all for it. I actually done nude drawings for some of my training in school. So I've done that before. So I like nude models. I'm down for a male.
Okay, you guys, make sure you guys hit her up right there, Liliflor, and tell her I'm a new dude. So get at me.
So another thing I wanted to mention, since we are on Freaky Tales, one thing that tripped me out. Well, there's 2 things actually. One thing, I actually got commissioned to paint someone's grandmother that passed away, and another person's mom that passed away, and another person's tia that passed away. So I got a lot of people that I painted. Actually, a handful of people that have passed away, portraiture style stuff, but not like exact portraiture in my style. So when I did my first one, it was trippy because I'm painting someone that's dead, right. So I'm right there staring at their picture. I kind of get their information, their story, and I start talking to them.
Really?
Yeah, like that really does happen. Like I have to connect with them. I start talking to them. Like I say their name. For example, una se llamaba la tía de un amigo, like my friend Kevin, if you're out there. I actually painted his tía named Rosie, and she had real pretty 1950s Pachuca looking, real beautiful. And I was just like, hey, Rosie, you're looking good. Oh, you're awesome. I wonder how, and I was just kind of like connecting with her, and just at first I was, to tell the truth, I was a little like afraid of that.
Yeah.
A little afraid of that because you start tapping into another realm.
Wow.
And because it's a spiritual realm, right?
Yes.
But you're also immortalizing them.
Okay.
So when you paint someone, you immortalize them into something that's art. I'm putting energy into it. And so I'm looking at a dead person.
Wow. Yeah.
And dead people, and I'm painting them. That's a trip.
It is.
So after every time, I'd have to sage myself, sage my space, and just make sure I pray for them. I hope you're in a good place, like that, and build a connection. And now I didn't ever meet them in person, but I consider them my ancestors now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in the realm of Freaky Tales.
All good. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. So now people got a good idea of pretty much what you do and what you have done. And it's awesome. I hope you guys will give her a follow. Let's get her at 10K. Are you at 10K yet?
No.
Okay, let's get her at 10K,
on my
guys.
YouTube or
No. On my Instagram.
Oh, on your Instagram. What's that?
10K followers.
I don't have 10K. I have like 7.
Okay, well, let's get her to 10K, everybody.
I have like 7.
Let's go and follow. Okay, let's go and support the artivist, Liliflor. So, Lily, I invited you here because, you know what? I want to talk about cults. I don't know if I'll eventually do a part 2, part 3, or whatever, because there's a bunch of cult leaders out there. And but before we get started on these 2 individuals, I just want to share with people just, how would you say, a basic definition of what a cult is. And after I finish reading, if you want to elaborate on what the cult means, you may. So once again, before we get started on a cult leader, it's important for us to know what a cult is. A cult is a group of people who share an extreme devotion to a belief system, object, or figure. Cults are often characterized by unquestioning loyalty to a leader, isolation of members, and a refusal to tolerate questions. Think about that. A refusal to tolerate questions. Okay. Characteristics of a cult: unquestioning loyalty. Followers are expected to have absolute loyalty to the leader without question. To me, that's already a red flag. Isolation. Members may be separated from their friends, family, and society. Okay. Kind of sounds like a insecure boyfriend that wants to separate you from the family. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then I don't know how to pronounce this word. It's authoritative or I have a hard time. It's a long
authoritarianism.
What she said.
Damn it.
Yeah, ves? Okay. Anyway, cults may be led by an authoritarian figure who doesn't provide accountability.
Yeah.
Think about that. Okay.
An authoritarian. Okay. An authoritarian.
Yes. Okay. No tolerance for questions. Cults may not allow questions or critical thinking. Secret knowledge. Cults may rely on special or secret knowledge that's only shared with
a few.
No, with a few. That word, they used a big word for a few. Yes. They actually, what they do is, say you could have a group of 120 and they only choose maybe 50 to confide in, like, hey, this is going to be our little secret, if you will. You're special. Lily, anything you care to share on what I possibly didn't read on cults?
Okay, that's a good definition. Well, cult, like I think I told you earlier, yes. Derives from the word, which is Latin derived. It's from the Latin word cultus, which also the etymology is cultus, and it means cultivation. And in the 18th century, it was for like devotion of one person or a thing or belief.
Right. You know, my whole thing is in a cult leader. Let's just choose, even though we're not talking about him today, but let's just say like a Charles Manson. That was a cult.
That was a cult.
Okay.
Definitely a cult.
And the crazy part, Lily, is that this guy, if I'm correct, was never charged with killing anyone.
No.
But he told everybody, go do this. Go do it. And they went ahead and did it. He gets arrested, and these women shave their heads in a sign of protest and a sign that they're loyal to Charles Manson. Now, you're a woman. You've seen plenty of pictures of Charles Manson. And I'm being honest when I ask you this. Do you think he was a good-looking man?
Ay, no, estaba bien feo el cabrón.
Yeah, sorry. No, it's okay. It's true.
He was freaking ugly, my God.
Okay, see, so that excludes his looks. Okay, let's get his looks out the way. Yeah. So my thing is this. Why do you think, what did he have, Lily, that you think that drew men and women to him to the point where they would kill for him?
He had different things.
Okay.
One, he used language, which was loaded language, and he used emotions. And during that time, remember, it was the 1960s. Yes. It was the protest, and it was the psychedelic and free sex movement.
The hippie era, yeah.
It was that era. So he used the emotions and used drugs too.
Yes.
He used drugs to induce a form of hallucinogen. He was able to manipulate people, but he definitely used language and emotion.
Yeah. You know, because I've seen plenty of documentaries about him, and I just didn't get it. Like, I didn't get what I mean, and this guy, somebody would say, you know what, go kill that family. okay, master, we'll do it. Like, I often wonder, what kind of person was he? And then what kind of people were they? Were they lost people? Were they looking for a shepherd? Were they looking for a leader? Were they looking for something? And is it safe to say he had the gift of gab?
He had the gift of gab, and most cult leaders have the gift of gab, and he sure did. And during that time, remember in the 60s, it was like, ooh, free for all. Let's get naked. Let's fucking go swim naked and do all these things.
Right.
And let's have fucking orgies and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so he used that.
Yeah.
And so he used that, manipulated the youth, which was the youth too.
Yes.
He used them, and so he emotionally used them. And if you actually look at different studies, most of these people get brainwashed when you have a low immune system. So if you're not eating well either, like your brain gets rewired.
I've never heard that before.
No, it's a true fact. I mean, I read on it, so it's, so that happens. So you're immune deprived. And so if you look at them, they were so skinny. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were real skinny and frail. So they must have been just smoking, and they weren't really eating nutritionally and stuff like that. And so that's deprivation, food deprivation, and your immune gets compromised, and then your brain gets rewired.
Did you guys hear that?
Just FYI.
Wow. Okay, now I'm going to share something after we talk about when we get into our second cult leader. I'm going to ask you the same question because this one might throw you off just a bit.
Okay.
But our first guy, let's bring up our first guy. His name is Jesus Luis de Jesus Miranda. So let's go ahead and bring that up. Once again, picture number 1. And this is the preacher guy. I first heard about him, Lily, in early 2000s. Okay, and the reason why I heard about him because when you would watch, Canal 52 or 34, the Spanish channels. Yeah, this guy right here, I used to know him by Jesus Luis Miranda, even though his full name is Jose Luis de Jesus, but because he self-proclaimed to be Jesus,
yeah, he's Jesus.
they changed his name to Jesus Luis Miranda.
So he backwards.
He went backwards, right.
Turned it around.
Okay. What makes this guy interesting is that he claimed to be Jesus, the return of Jesus. According to the Bible, Jesus came to death, burial, and resurrection, ascended into heaven, and he said one day he'll come back. Well, guess what? Jesus said, I'm him. I'm back. And he's in Florida.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And he said, I'm the guy. And he's had interviews, and he said he's the guy. And I think the reason why people joined his church, and I have to kind of blame this on it's the Aleister Crowley. Okay, Aleister Crowley had a motto that read, or a commandment that said, "Do what thou wilt." Do what thou wilt. Well, this guy, Jesus Miranda, said, "There is no sin. It was abolished at the cross. Pretty much, do what thou wilt."
Yeah,
So-
no accountability.
Yeah, no accountability. So when he was preaching, people were saying there's no more sin. So they felt free to do whatever.
Yeah.
And he got really, really popular in the 2000s. And believe me, he had a lot of money. He was making waves, and a lot of people were joining his church. And he actually said that he was Antichrist. That's what he referred to himself as, Antichrist. Not that he was the bad Antichrist, but he said he was the good Antichrist. And at the number 666 as the number of the Antichrist. So he wanted his members to get 666 tattooed on them to honor him. And they did.
Yeah, I saw a video of that.
Okay, so now, Jesus, let me just read a little bit to give you guys a little bit of background before we get into a video. Jesus Luis de Jesus Miranda. Okay, I'm sorry. Jose Luis de Jesus Miranda. November 17th, 2013, was the leader of Creciendo en Gracia cult. In other words, growing in grace, based in Miami, Florida. He claimed to be both the return phase of Jesus Christ and the Antichrist. He was known for making statements that opposed the precepts of the Roman Catholic Church, but that followed his interpretation of the Bible. So he had his own interpretation, and he said that everybody in the New Testament was a liar except Paul. That's what he said. So, yeah. He was previously known as El Jesucristo Hombre, which translated roughly to the man Jesus Christ. But shortly after his death, his followers granted him the title of Melchizedek because as stated by his official site, he attained his new and final name, which means King of Justice and King of Peace. Now, Melchizedek, for those of you guys who don't know, Melchizedek was actually King of Salem. Most people believe that was Jerusalem during that time, and he actually met with Abraham, and he actually had wine and bread, and he broke bread with Abraham, but he was in the Old Testament, so they named him Melchizedek simply because in the scriptures they said that Melchizedek had no beginning and no end. So this guy's saying he had no beginning and no end. Okay, yeah. So obviously he had an end. Okay. Footage from one of his sermons as well as an interview with comedian Bill Maher are included in the 2008 documentary film Religulous. Now, Bill Maher made a comedy movie when he made fun of all religions, and he interviewed this guy. So he's in it. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put on the headphones and we're gonna watch video number one. Video number one. Now here, right there, the headphones are right there. I'll tell you when we're ready.
Okay.
And here he's being interviewed by the news and he's being asked certain questions. So this is video number one. Norbert, go ahead and put video number one. Let's get a little bit of background, a little bit of his background right here, by his own words.
I'm Jesus Christ, man, the second coming of Christ.
You believe that?
Not only I believe that, I have written proof.
Yes, proof.
What kind of proof?
Well, like in the book of Hebrew, says that that Jesus will appear for the second time without relation to sin.
Yep.
He will build a church, telling the church that sin is no longer. That 2,000 years ago, Jesus, the Lamb of God, took away sin.
Yeah.
And in 2,000 years, nobody have preached that, have told the people that sin is no longer in the church. So I'm the first one in 2,000 years
He's the first.
that have proclaimed that sin was taken away 2,000 years ago.
And that's why you're Jesus Christ?
Not only that, there are other proof, biblical proof. In the book of Romans, says chapter 14, verse 9, says that Jesus died and he resurrected and came alive again to build the church.
But anybody could do that.
Yep.
Well, not the way I do it.
Okay.
Okay. You know the crazy part? Okay, you know what? When I first played that video and I looked at him again, he reminded me of a young Paul Rodriguez.
Okay, he looks like him.
That's what he kind of reminded me of. So, but to sit in front of the camera and look at the reporter and say, "I'm Jesus."
Yeah.
What would possess a man to do that? Is he deranged? Is he insane? Or se cree mucho? Or like, I don't know. Like,
I think it's a combination of all that. He's delusional. For sure.
For
He's
sure.
delusional. He's a narcissist, and that's one of the traits of narcissists. You know, they believe their own made up reality.
okay.
And he's using what's called loaded language.
Okay.
So loaded language is when you use different catchphrases, like Marilyn Manson. Not Marilyn Manson. Manson. He used Helter Skelter, like the song from the Beatles. You know, so he used loaded language.
Okay. Let me read a little bit more before we get into our next video. Jose Luis de Jesus Miranda separated from his wife in 2007. So in other words, Jesus separated from his wife because according to her, he started to say that he was God. Okay, according to her. Okay, I'm not comfortable with that. So he threatened me by sending death angels to my sons if I didn't do whatever he wanted.
Wow.
So now, if you don't do what I want, he threatens you.
Yeah.
So death angels are going to go to your children.
Basically kill you.
Yeah,
Like
kill you.
cursing you.
Yes.
Basically, he's cursing. That's
Yes.
actually, that's a way of cursing someone.
Yes. Okay, so she also alleged that he liked to send her far away from home for long periods of time because he was seeing other women, some of them from creciendo en gracia. So he was fooling around with the girls in the church, so he would send her away. So Jesus was fooling around in the church.
Which is really, I mean, Jesus and a lot of cult leaders, if you look at their history, most of all of them have all had some type of sexual relations with their followers, and not just one, many.
Many. And think about this, okay? If they truly believed that this guy was Jesus in the church, so these girls were sleeping with them, they were sleeping with this so-called Jesus, and keep in mind, there is no sin.
Yeah, well, that's why he said that, because he won't be accountable, and
Right.
that's what most narcissists do. That's what I just learned about narcissism after my breakup, and that sounds like my ex.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah.
well, today you tell me something. And mañana otra cosa.
He thought he was God. He called himself God.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, no, he really does.
Wow.
This 100. I'm not lying. I'm my mother. Rest in peace. I would never swear my mom, but he called himself God.
Wow.
And any of his friends that know him, he says God.
Wow.
Maybe he said it backwards, like DOG.
No.
I'm a dog.
Yeah, no. He probably meant that really, but
Okay.
he really thought he was a God.
Okay, documents provided to the court by Josefina's attorney demonstrated that Jose Luis spent extravagantly during the time of the marriage and used church funds to maintain his lifestyle. One gambling debt to Hard Rock Casino was over $45,000. Joanne de Jesus, Jose Luis's daughter and church treasurer, testified that de Jesus' first wife, Nadia Velez, receives $12,000 monthly alimony paid for by the church. Finally, the church bought multiple properties for Jose Luis in Florida, Texas, and Colombia using church funds and signing the title over to Jose Luis or Joanne de Jesus. So for him and his daughter. So these people are actually funding his mess.
Yeah, that's
And
what they do.
He will send his wife away to mess around with these other girls. Obviously, if there was no sin, why would he send the wife away when he could just tell her, hey, babe, there's no sin. I'm going to be with her.
Yeah. If that's the case, you could be in a polyamorous relationship, and there's no sin, and you could do whatever you want. You know.
Yeah.
But we know that's what most of those cult leaders do,
Yeah.
and most people who are deranged.
Now, if you think this is something, wait till we get into our next one. So let's go ahead and load up video number 2. This is where they kind of honor him by getting a tattoo of 666. Listen to what he says.
Oh my God, this is funny. This is funny.
In a tattoo parlor on trendy South Beach
You did the 666 really big? Yeah.
sat the daughter of the man who claims to be God.
He's back. He's here to teach us that we should reign in life, that there is no sin, and today we're honoring him.
We're honoring him.
Joanne de
Oh my
Jesus
God,
is one
soy
of
bien
several
pendeja.
dozen members of a religious sect called Crecienda en Gracia, or Growing in Grace. They were tattooed on their arms, ankles, even their necks with 666, the biblical sign of the Antichrist. Why? Because their spiritual leader says he is the Antichrist, not the embodiment of evil, but rather the second coming.
666, Antichrist means do not put your eyes on Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Put it in Jesus after the cross.
And that's you.
That's me.
Oh my God, los huevos que tiene. For real, that's what they think.
Yeah.
No, I never. The crazy thing is, I'm looking at it. I'm not surprised because I met people like that.
Yes.
My ex. I'm talking shit. I'm gonna talk shit. Well, it's true. It's just that this whole subject is actually pretty interesting. But I'm like, man, he was a little bit like that. Yeah. But other than that, but I mean, on a serious tip, on the real like cult leaders
Yes.
with big followings like that. If you look at their traits, they're so like full of themselves. You know,
Yes.
like they believe, you know, they are Jesus. Like this guy believes he's Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, you guys want to know something fun fact?
Yes.
You know what my middle name is?
Your middle name? A ver, dime.
What do you think?
Jesus?
Sure is. I was named after my grandfather. When my grandfather died, I was born, and my mom said, no matter what it is, a girl, a boy, I'm gonna name him
Jesus?
Jesus. Oh wow! So my middle name is Lilia de Jesus.
Pero no te crees.
No me crees. No me creo. And the crazy thing is that Lilith, right? And Lily, the flower. Lily was the flower that was used in biblical terms. It was used as symbol to inseminate, like Mary, and that's Jesus, one of the stories.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what I heard, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Okay.
But it could be the opposite, you know.
Hey, all good. We learned something here on Freaky Tales. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about his death, and then we'll go on to our next guy. Okay, on August 8th, 2013, Miranda's wife, Josefina Torres, claimed that Miranda had died in Sugar Land, Texas. On August 8th, 2017, apparently, he died of cirrhosis of the liver. Okay. However, on September 11th, Miranda appeared in public proclaiming himself in good health. On November 15th, Miranda actually died on Orlando, Florida, with his death confirmed by both his movement and family. Miranda's death was Miranda's death has remained controversial among the followers, but publicly, his church has continued to insist that Miranda has not died and that he is immortal. He was buried on November 22nd, 2013, in a ceremony in which only his family and certain followers attended. So now, according to his followers, he is immortal. He hasn't died.
No, that guy died. And you know how
died.
he died? He died because he was drinking and partying
Yes.
and doing all the ladies in the back room of the church
Yeah.
or wherever his spread was. And so he was like, hey, what's up? Let's have some Jesus drink, some Jesus juice, you
Jesus
know?
juice, yeah.
And you know, I think, and his actual fact is that because I did a little research on him, he used to, and he did that, and he said that in an interview, he used to be a drug addict. He was in prison. And so he was a big drug addict. So his liver was probably very messed up, and he was drinking and partying and doing the ladies in the church. Hey, his liver gave out.
Yeah. But
I have a question for you guys. You know, he had the 666, but I just noticed in this picture they put 3 S's under him.
yeah, S's. According to him, that was another translation for 666. Where he got the S's from, because the S in the Greek, because originally the New Testament in Revelation 13 is 666. That was written in Greek, but that's not a Greek letter, the S. So that was by his own interpretation, bro. Keep in mind that he interpreted the Bible differently from everybody.
Okay.
He
So-
made up shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much, he made up
He made up shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he did.
It's like those 5%ers. You know about that?
Oh,
Like,
God.
oh my God. Okay, my ex, he was into the 5%ers because he thinks he's God. And so that shit, so the dude that actually founded the 5%ers, he actually was a gambler. And he just made up the whole thing. It wasn't even like, it's not a religion. It's just,
Right.
but there's.
They think they're God.
And they think they're God.
Literally, they think they're God.
They really do. And that's what he thought.
Yeah, I had a worker, a guy that worked with me at Rouse, and he told me that he was a 5%er, a black man. And then I asked him, "Why do you think you're a god?" And he said, "Because we can reproduce." And my answer shocked him. I said, "Bro, rats and roaches can reproduce."
Yeah.
He walked away. About an hour later, he came back. He goes, "Okay, you got me, bro." He goes, "You got me."
Yeah, rats going to reproduce.
Okay.
That's a good one. I like that. I'm going to use it.
Yeah, he's a rat. Okay. Now, the next guy, let's go ahead and bring up Holy Hell. You guys can watch this, guys, there you go. You guys can watch this on Amazon. Okay, it's free. Came out in 2016. And this one right here, it's going to be a lot to unpack. So please bear with me. This one, if you have the 2 hours to waste, go ahead and watch it. But the reason why I watched it, Lily, is because I'm going to say it this way. This is a dude. Imagine a fit Richard Simmons without the fro. Remember Richard Simmons?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy walks around in Speedos, has a 6-pack, eyeliner, and he's gay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he is a cult leader of something, the group called the Buddhafield.
Yeah, the Buddhafield, yes.
The Buddhafield, okay. So this guy, let me give you guys a little bit of background before we dive into this. His name is Jaime Gomez. He's from, I believe, Venezuela. who was previously known as Michelle. I don't want to say Andres, but they call it Andreas. Some of the white people, that's the way they pronounce his name. The teacher, or it's Ray, R-E-Y, como Ray, and then J-I, it's Ray J, which means kind of like God or
Ray J.
Yeah, kind of like Christ-like. Okay, is the leader of the religious movement Buddhafield. I thought Buddha was kind of funny because you think marijuana.
Well, I think meditation, Buddhism.
Okay, that's probably what it is.
He got it from that because he started with meditation.
You're right. It says he is featured in the documentary film Holy Hell and in an episode of Netflix series How to Become a Cult Leader. Okay, so now let me give you guys, here's what really tripped me out about this guy. First and foremost, this guy was, in the very beginning, was always wanted to be an actor. Okay, and if we could bring up his only cameo scene in a Roman Polanski film, I believe, it was called Rosemary's Baby, which came out in 1968. And let's get it right. There you go. So the guy in the white, that's him. That was his only cameo. And it was at the very end, and I believe it was between a 5 to 8 second cameo. So he went around telling people I was in Rosemary's Baby, 1968. So I don't know how old he was there because I was born in 68. I'm going to be 57. He had to be at least 20 or at least in his late teens. Or
He
so,
was young. He looked young.
yeah. So that guy's, he was at least maybe almost 20 years older than me. So this guy didn't make it in the film industry. So you know what he did? He decided to do porn.
Yeah.
But not just any porn, gay porn.
porn.
Yeah, gay porn.
I know
He wanted
about
to play hide the sausage. Okay. Then after that, he became a ballerina. Meditating.
Yeah, he started his own meditation group.
Yes, and then he what was that other one? He got right here.
Oh, what is it called? What is it?
Yeah, he was a ballerina dancer, yoga instructor.
Yoga. Okay.
Yeah, so he was involved in a couple of other things, but yeah, he was a ballerina guy.
He was into the New Age movement, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Hypnosis.
That's the word I'm looking for. He actually had a degree in hypnosis.
Yes.
So that made him actually kind of dangerous.
Very.
Okay, so once again, let's talk about Jaime Gomez, once again from Venezuela, known as Michelle. Once again, actor, ballerina dancer, hypnosis, yoga instructor, and gay porn actor. He was the leader of a group called the Buddhafield, which most of the members called it Bootyfield, and I'll explain later why it was called Bootyfield.
He got down with the booty.
So the Buddhafield group actually started in West Hollywood in the mid-'80s. Okay, he preached working out, eating good, and celibacy. That one threw me off.
Yeah, he preached that. And
Now,
plastic surgery.
Yes, and I'll tell you what. Here's what he said. He didn't want ugly people or fat people in his group.
Ouch.
Yeah.
He wanted to be known, if they were going to be called an occult, he wanted to be called like the most beautiful cult out there. So this guy would literally walk around in Speedos, like with his little sausage hanging out. He had a six-pack. He had plastic surgery. He had cheek implants and eyeliner. So, I mean, so much that this caught the attention of Joe Rogan. So, last year, Joe Rogan actually covered it on his show.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll that clip, Norbies.
I just want to let you know that the poll has been up for 40 minutes.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. The poll was, do you know what a cult is? 68% said yes. And this is actually out of 160 votes. 68% said yes, I do. 12% said no, I don't. And 20% said tell me.
Okay. Now, ask him this. If there was no sin, would you join a cult? Would you join a cult? Right? If there is no sin, would you join a cult? Okay, most people will say, yeah, I'm not going to be held accountable. Why not?
Well, I don't know about the word sin. But
Okay. Let's give another one. What's another one? If there was no accountability.
If there was no accountability, if there was no right and wrong, or if there was no wrong, But really, that's where boils down to, it's like making a good moral decision, right?
Okay.
So I mean, you could say sin. I'm not into the sin, but I think people should be morally accountable.
Okay.
But I think if there was a place that I wasn't morally accountable, I'd want to join.
Okay. There you go.
I would if I was a bad person, but I'm not.
You know what? I've known a lot of people that have told me that they would join the Mormon church or the Islamic, if you would, I guess.
Islam?
They would join Islam because they believe that they can have multiple wives.
Oh yeah, the polygamy.
Yeah. Polygamy.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll it. This is freaking hilarious. What Joe said. Let's watch it.
I want to watch this one. God, I want to watch that.
Yeah, that's freaky.
I want to watch
That's
it.
All right,
freaky.
good night, everybody.
I'm actually gonna go watch that.
Yes. Well, just to let you guys know, in the documentary, they actually show it like within the last 20 minutes. They show like maybe 20, 30 seconds of his gay porn because he couldn't cut it as an actor. His 8-second cameo on Rosemary's Baby just wasn't working. Okay, so what happened was he decided to do gay porn, and a lot of his followers didn't know that he was involved in that. They found out later when they were following him. But it all started with him pretty much saying, let's meditate, let's get together. And it started here in Hollywood, West Hollywood, out of all places.
North Hollywood. He probably lived in the valley.
Probably.
It was the poor capital.
Yes. And he one thing, once again, he would preach is working out, eating good, and celibacy. He would say that meditating, reaching a higher level was better than an orgasm, which later on proved to be a lie. Okay.
Yeah. He was doing his friends,
Yes.
his followers.
Even though the members were all sleeping with each other on the down low, instead of Buddhafield, they called it Bootyfield.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what happened. And
Sounds like the Catholic Church.
oh, freaky shots fired. Okay, so but Lily, one thing that I realized that one member said,
What?
and
Don't fucking with you.
they asked him like, "What made you join?" And this is one thing that really stood out to me. This person said, and he teared up. He said, he made me feel special. He didn't make me feel ugly. He made me feel like I was beautiful. He made me feel loved, wanted, and needed, and I wasn't getting that anywhere else. He said, and it just wasn't saying that to me. He was saying that to everyone. So I realized, Lily, that he might have been talking to people that had been damaged, that had been broken.
Yeah.
And so these people were going to him, possibly seeking validation, lift me up, speak to me. You speak beautiful, kind words. In his eyes, I'm somebody. In his eyes, I'm worthy. And these people eventually in this documentary said, I would have killed for this man.
Damn.
And it reminded me of the Manson thing.
Yes.
Okay. So these people would do anything for him. If you guys were to look at the documentary, from the very beginning, he hires a cult member and he tells them, I want you to record everything. Okay. Mm-hmm. So what he does, this guy he's recording everything while he's in the jacuzzi, while he's holding a bird. He even tells this wife, I'm going to stand right there and I want you to film me. And what he does, he just stares at the camera like he's hypnotizing the damn camera, Yeah. And then he's talking to, this guy literally records everything. If they would have never have recorded everything, there would be no documentary. There would be nothing to talk about this guy. Mm-hmm. But he literally would make everybody feel special. So I think that's why these people gravitated towards him. And then they said this, we started to feel dependent on his words.
Oh, yeah. He harnessed their energy and their spirit. And because their spirit was already on low frequency and they were wounded.
Yes.
They were wounded spirits. So he was able to harness that with loaded language and with love bombing. Yes. That's called love bombing. When you you give them the world, you're going to show them something different and you're going to validate them and you're going to, create a sanctuary for them and those kinds of things. And so people that are wounded spirits, they're going to think that he's like the savior.
Yes.
And that's what most cult leaders rely on.
Yeah. Yes. So what happened was one of the rules that he had was you can't say no. No is against the rules. Okay. So what happened was somebody that was a member of his here in Hollywood eventually left and reported him that he was a cult. He got paranoid, according to this documentary, upped and left his members. He only took maybe like 4 or 5, and he went to Austin, Texas. All of these people in Hollywood were just waiting on him. And they all said, I feel lost. I need him. I love him. You know, he is our everything. He is our guru. And then finally, when he settled in Austin, now keep in mind, this guy didn't work. He had no money. All of these people left their families, everything, were working to support this guy. So they finally all went to Texas, finally. And there it all started. He started classes called The Cleansing. So here's where it gets interesting. So it would be, say I'm this guru, you know, now he went from, I believe he went from Jaime Gomez to Michelle. No, call me Michelle. These guys change their name often.
It's Michelle.
Michelle. Okay. So let's just say in Texas, Austin, Texas, I have about 125 members. Every week, he would see the members one time a week for a cleansing. So, Lily, I'm going to charge you $50 for your cleansing, and here's what the cleansing consisted of. You tell me your deepest, darkest secrets. What are you afraid of? What do you love? What are your fantasies? Who hurt you? Everything. So you lay everything out on the table, and then guess what? You pay me $50. And then eventually what this bastard did, used it against you.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, that's what they do. So wounded spirits, you know, they want salvation. So now they're going to the confessional. Yeah. And because he did something called the knowing, right? The knowing.
Wait, okay. That's next. Yes.
Okay. So now they opened up and they spilled all their dark secrets, all the guilt.
Yes.
All the shame. And that's what the traits of cult leaders, they pry on guilt, shame, and fear.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna say this to the fans out there. Be very careful who you trust. Be very careful who you open up to, because let me tell you something, whether it's a woman or whether it's a male, those bastards, their intentions are to get you to open up to eventually hold that against you.
My ex.
And throw it in your damn face. They'll say, stays between us. And as soon as you leave them, guess what they say? Ha, I got that. Do you remember that robbery you did? Remember you pulled the gun? Only I know. Yeah. And that's what they do. Okay.
Try.
So people in this documentary, they begin to ask him, why did you stay? Why did you stay? So he had something called the knowing.
Yes.
So what he would do, out of his 125, he would select maybe 10, maybe 20. And he would get away with them. And he said, I want to see if you're worthy of the knowing. Now, what is the knowing? In other words, if you are, what is that word? If you meet all the requirements and I feel that you are ready, I can lay hands on you and you can know, if you will, this God energy for yourself the same way I do. Okay? So people were like, oh, God, yes, I want it. But you know what he would do, Lily? No, it's all good. We're having fun with it. But you know what he would do, Lily?
What would he do?
It would be like, I take you, Norbies, whatever, 20 people, and then you come and then you say, Master, I'm ready. And then I look at you and no, you're not ready. But you know why I said that? Because I need you to stick around.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He would tell people, you're not ready. So and then when they found out that when the people that were ready, he would actually lay hands and push down on their eyes. Okay? Uh-huh. So when they opened it, all of a sudden the colors were different. They start seeing stars.
Anybody does that too.
Anybody could
colors.
Yes.
I'm going to see colors too.
And people,
I roll my eyes and I see colors.
People would say, oh my God, it was like I was on shrooms, but without the drug. I was like on LSD, but without the drugs. I was in heaven. And then now that made the other people that weren't a part of the knowing.
I want to do the knowing.
So they stayed. They stayed.
Hoping to be picked.
Yeah, it's like rappers today saying, you want backstage?
Yeah,
You want VIP?
That part.
You want VIP?
Yep, that
Okay.
part.
This guy had people assigned to tuck him in at night,
Oh my God.
to bathe him, carry a chair wherever he walked. So whenever he got tired, shade. Okay. What was the other one? To massage him. Like all of these things.
That sounds like Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Remember, like, there's
All of these things. And this guy never worked. Just some queer looking dude with some Speedos and eyeliner. Like,
Eyeliner like Cleopatra.
yeah, and they worship this guy. Okay, so once again, $50 for the cleansing. And then if you were chosen to be in the knowing, you were chosen. So you can have direct connection with God. It wasn't given to all, but it was what kept people coming back. So now I want to say it was 1993. He's in Austin, Texas. He gets paranoid again because there in Austin, Texas, 100 miles away, Waco happened.
Oh yeah, he got paranoid. when
Yes.
that happened.
Yes. So now he's getting paranoid. Oh my God, the FBI went to Waco, Texas. David Koresh, if you guys remember, he's another one that eventually I will cover. I know a lot about David Koresh. The FBI thought they were going to surprise the compound, but the compound surprised the FBI because they had guns too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
they did.
72 members went down in flames. Think about this,
Yeah.
that those people were willing to die for that guy, David Koresh.
Nuts.
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 And some of these people were willing to die for Michelle.
Yeah. Well, can I say something about?
Yes.
Remember that guy, Joe Johnson or something Johnson, and they drank the Kool-Aid. That's what it came from. The cult followers, they drank the Kool-Aid.
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones, ese feo también el cabrón, and he's like, he made him did their concoction with Kool-Aid.
Yes.
And so that's what the term you drank the Kool-Aid.
Don't
came
drink the
from.
Kool-Aid when they tell you.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
Yeah, and you know the sad thing, Lily, and I'm kind of giving it away because that's another cult leader that I want to talk about eventually. This is going to trip you out right now, Nick. Really, really trip me out after I did a lot of, if you will, on my own researching on the cult Jim Jones when he took everybody to Guyana.
Oh yes,
That's where it happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it started as a church called the People's Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He took them to Guyana, and eventually he realized that they were going to come for him because they had already killed some reporters. Because when the reporters came to visit them, some of the members slipped them letters, please help us, we want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Jim Jones found out, Jim Jones found out that, was it James Jones? One of those Jones. They found out that those letters got to the reporters, so they were not going to allow the reporters to leave, so they killed them right before they got on their plane. Okay? So he knew that they were going to be coming for him, so you know what he did? Let's take ourselves out. So he made all of them, women, men, and children, drink the Kool-Aid. Now, this is the part that really tripped me out on that. They started as a church, the People's Temple, where he was preaching the Bible. They found everything except Bibles in Guyana.
Yeah. He didn't need a Bible. He was the Savior, the coming.
Yeah, that was it.
Second coming. That's what they do.
Yeah. So this guy, they found no Bible. They just relied on his word, and that's what he did. So now, once again, so this guy, once again, this is the part that really tripped me out, Lily, is that when he got paranoid because of what happened in Waco, he believed that, okay, I'm in Austin, I'm 100 miles away, same thing is about to happen to me. I need to get plastic surgery. But before he got plastic surgery, what a lot of people don't know, he didn't know how he was going to look. So he had his members get plastic surgery to see what it was like.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they paid for it because he had no money.
Yeah.
So when he saw that it was pretty good,
I'm gonna
fine.
do it.
Give me lips, fix my eyes, give me cheekbones. And that's what he did. So what he was doing, because one by one, people started coming out. Here's how they started coming out, Lily. He had men and women. Men and women. Now, keep in mind, they were considered the most beautiful cult out there because they were all fit, they were eating clean, they exercised. He pretty much commanded them to eat clean, to work out,
Look tan.
ballerina, do all of this crap. And one by one, males started coming out that he was sleeping with them.
Mm-hmm.
And after preaching celibacy. Now think about this, Lily. There were so many women there that loved and adored him. And he didn't touch not one woman.
Of course not. He was in conflict with his own sexuality, and he was in the closet. That's pretty much what it was. Come on, the dude was a ballerina, but not all ballerinas. But well, a majority of them happened to be gay, and he was an actor that was failed. He was a gay porn star.
Yes,
and. Come on, like sleeping with men, and there's not a surprise because that's obvious. He's not deprived. It's a closeted gay man, pretty much, or in conflict. I don't know.
In the documentary, one of the men came out and said like this. He said, "I'm not gay." He said, "So when I went to my cleansing, and he wanted to be with me, I told him I've never done this. I don't want to do it." And he said, "Why not?" He said, "I don't want to do this." He goes, and then he immediately tried to say, "Okay, let's talk about it. What happened in your childhood that makes you resist?" And he said, "Nothing happened in my childhood. I just don't want to do it." He goes, but then he bent me over and he said it this way, and he fucked me, and I got up and I paid him my $50.
Jesus.
Ew, gross. Ew, like he basically raped him.
Yes, that's exactly what he did.
He basically raped him.
So eventually, yes, they all got tired of it. And they all started leaving. So you know what this bastard did? After he pretty much raped all the men, okay? He had all of them. Never touched the women. He packs up and leaves, grabs a few that still followed him. He went to Hawaii, and he lived happily ever after, and he's still there.
Oh, disgusting.
Graping them, right? Graping.
Yeah, graping them.
Oh, fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. That's fucking gross.
And the crazy part is every single one of these men, again, whether they lied or not, this was in the documentary, they said, "I wasn't gay." He goes, "But because I believed him, I let him."
And that sounds like predators, like child molesters too, like kind of like they're predators. So he's a predator, and so he used the most vulnerable parts of themselves, and they're like wounded spirits. So even though they're grown men and probably fit and the whole thing, he fucking just bent them over and fucking raped them.
That's what he did.
They didn't even fight back.
Would you guys say that's the same type of activity of that one guy that had that church in Whittier? Do you guys remember that?
The church in Whittier.
The cielos de algo.
Oh, del mundo, la luz del mundo.
La luz del mundo.
Oh my God, the one with the lions is right there in East LA.
Yes, it is. It is. Do you know that?
No. Tell me.
Yeah, you gotta know. I thought you know about the luz del mundo. Yeah.
Do you know mostly?
I kind of know that I started watching the documentary. That's what you said about the cults. I'm like, I went in the rabbit hole of cults.
Okay, Norbert, are you still a member there?
Netflix? No.
Yeah, he's that's another cult. Yeah.
Do you still pay your tithe there, Norbert?
Oh yeah. But you know what? I have a second question for you guys. Do you think or believe that Andrew Tate is starting up a cult, low key, without realizing it?
No.
And I only say that because a lot of his followers tend to copy what he does, even to the point where they're going bald themselves.
Okay, that I don't know.
So they can start looking like him.
Well, that happens when, like, come on, Michael Jackson. Everyone to look like Michael Jackson or Boy George, like
Michael Jordan.
You know how everything that this guy did is pretty much what Andrew Tate is doing, except not doing guys.
I don't know about that one, bro.
Is that a stretch?
That's a stretch.
Is it?
Yeah.
For the most part,
Okay, tell us about Luis del Mundo or Luz?
La Luz del Mundo.
Luz del Mundo, yeah.
Okay, what happened?
Okay, the religious leader was arrested in LAX. I'm going to read it off a little bit, right? For human trafficking and child pornography.
Luz del Mundo?
The leader of religious organization La Luz del Mundo.
Wow.
And California attorney Javier Becerra today announced the arrest and filing of charges against Nason Joaquin Garcia and his co-defendants for alleged human trafficking, production of child pornography, forcible rape of minors, and other felonies. So I started watching now I remember the documentary. So I started watching it. So one of the girls she was a young girl then. So she was the daughter of one of the followers in the church, and then he did the same thing. Oh, you're special. You're going to be my special special assistant. You're gonna come. That's how he got her. And he had young girls, little girls. He would do under the age, like 14 years old, 13.
So he was, if you will, grooming them.
He groomed them.
Yeah, so he was constantly, you're beautiful, you're special, you're needed, you're loved.
And the parents basically, like, because he was like,
Yeah.
he was like a godlike figure for them.
Okay, now back to this guy, Jaime Gomez, a.k.a. Michelle, a.k.a. Andres. You've seen some of the clips. You've seen some of his pictures. What are your thoughts? Like, what do you take away from this guy? Because keep in mind, 90% of the time, he was just in his Speedos, eyeliner. He was fit. He ate good. He was a ballerina. He was an ex-porn star. Do you think it's the same thing with all of these cult leaders, that they find, if you will, lost souls, people that have been possibly beat up by family, verbally, emotionally damaged, and he just brings them in, he grooms them? Do you think that's...
For Michelle in particular?
Yeah.
Michelle. So Michelle, what was his real name again?
Jaime Gomez.
Jaime. I'm going to say Jaime because he's out there. Pinche Jaime, cabrón, feo. Anyway, for Michelle, I think that for him, and seeing the stuff that I researched on him and saw, just by his history, and if you see his trajectory of, like, he was started as an actor.
Yeah.
He wanted to be an actor.
Yeah. He
failed miserably, and so then he goes to pornography, and then he wasn't a porn star or anything. He just was doing pornography. He failed at that. Yeah. Probably, more than likely. And something must have happened along the way in acting where he got rejected, in pornography where he got rejected, and as a gay man, he probably got rejected. This is just my assumption, my theory. Yes. And then he goes and he's going to be a ballerina. He got rejected. He's not going to be a ballerina. Now he's going to go meditate and find enlightenment. So he does find something good, and it's called Buddha, ¿cómo se llama el lugar?
Was it Buddhafield?
Buddhafield. So Buddha is taken from Buddhism, right? So that's meditate. That's actually a religion. You know, it's a middle. It's a Japanese Chinese religion. It's on the So he studied that, right? So he took what helped him at the time, and then something clicked in his deranged little mind, right? And he's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna start doing this." So he started doing that. Maybe not so deranged, but he started doing meditation classes, right, based on Buddhism. And then he probably started getting a good outcome of people and really genuinely like doing Buddhist meditation. And then he probably, again, a light clicked on, right, and he's like, oh, I could capitalize on this.
Yes.
I'm going to make some money off of this. And so that's where that comes too, because they're also con artists. They're also con artists. And so now he got attention. So he's an attention seeker because he's like an actor and all these things. So now he has attention. Now he has a following. And now he could create his cult. And that's how it happens.
So he's playing out the role of a lifetime. He's acting.
And that's another thing. Actors, they're like actors.
Yeah,
they're like actors, just like narcissists.
Hey guys, can I say it kind of starting to sound like low keys, like some of these podcasters out here?
No, actually, there was a video that talks about different levels of cult leaders. Yes. So there's different levels or different types. There's 3 types. You have, the cult leaders that the authoritarianism. Now I know how to pronounce it. Authoritarian leaders, which are like almost like totalitarian, leaders where they're not wrong. Everything they say is right.
Yeah.
And then you have that fall in those categories, right? That could be religious or whatever. And then you have the other leaders that make up shit, like the 5%ers, New Agers. Yeah. And there's actually names for it. Like somebody put names, but I mean, and then you have, and that's another category, which is something I saw in the video, is you have like the famous people that people like them and they start looking like how he was saying, they start looking like you. And then you have the podcasters. That's the breakdown. They have names for them, but like, that's what I remember.
Yeah. Somebody just asked, I think it's Sylvia Lopez. I don't really read the comments, but I'm going to read hers.
Yeah.
Why do you guys have the headphones on?
Shoot, I forgot.
No, did I miss the phone calls? No, it's because we were actually listening to videos.
That's right.
That's right. But we're about to take phone calls in about a couple of seconds. How long has that poll been up?
It has been up for 26 minutes.
Okay, go ahead and read it, and then we'll take some phone calls.
Right, where did I have them?
Alrighty, so the question was, if there is no right and wrong, would you join a cult? And this is out of 93 votes. 13% said yes, sign me up.
Wow.
13?
85% said no, I'm good. And 2% said maybe.
Oh.
Okay.
There you have it.
Okay. Now, last thing, Lily, is that I asked this one guy a question, okay, and this is what really tripped me out. But I think that this guy, Jaime Gomez, Michelle, Andres, whatever, I just think he was a gay guy, and he was somewhat, como se dice, and I don't want to give him too much credit, but for lack of better words, he was smart. He was a conniver. He was a con man, and once he had a degree in hypnosis, okay, so maybe if I can get this group to follow me, I also can fulfill my if you will, my desires through these men, you know? And that's what he was doing. He was grooming them for a couple of years, preaching celibacy, all the good things. So they were like, yeah, let's go. But on the down low, they were all telling in the documentary, we were actually all sleeping with each other.
Everybody.
All the women with the men, okay?
Yeah.
According to them, there was no gay activity. The only gay activity came with him. Okay. Now, I do want to say this, and the reason why I bring this up. I had a guy here not too long ago, and he was in the music industry, and I asked him, why do people, whether you're a rapper, or you're a singer, or you're an actor, whatever, why do you wait to get famous to go gay?
I think in the industry they do the same thing. They groom them.
That's what I
mean,
think.
that's what we're seeing right now.
Right.
It's out. I think it's the same thing. There's a power structure. So people in places of power, like those cult leaders, they put themselves in a place of power. People become vulnerable because they also going to get something in return. You know, in the industry specifically, we're talking about actors and all that, get famous and all that. So they do. They do. I've known and heard stories. I haven't been there. I can't, but from what we've seen and people in the industry giving their testimonies about what happened to them. So I believe it that is a thing too. They get groomed, like.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Do you believe if a man claims to be straight, he has no business having a dildo, does he?
Exactly. Sounds like my ex.
Okay.
He loved dildos in his face.
Okay, let's
For
put up
real, it's a fact.
Let's go ahead and put up the numbers, guys.
Facts.
Let's go ahead and put up the number. Oh my goodness.
Sorry, bro. He's probably listening. My brother and my sister. Sorry.
That was a curveball right there.
Nah, I mean. Okay, let me see.
Let me see.
Hold on. Damn.
Oh,
that one
freaky.
That one caught me off guard.
Talk about freaky.
Okay, here we go. Let me see.
We could go freaky. Oh my God.
I need another poll question.
Okay, here we go. Caller, your name and where you calling from? Is that one on?
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, caller, call back with the 325 number. Here we go. What the hell? Okay. Caller, call back. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Here we go right here. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Tony A. Caesar from Paris.
Caesar from Paris. I should have recognized a 666. Jose Luis Miranda.
Sir, in the house.
What's good, my bro?
First of all, let's say hello to Mr. Ramirez.
Yes.
And a special shout out to Mr. Ramirez's ex that is infatuated with dildos. This shout out to him. Jesus Christ. Anyway. Wow.
Sorry.
No.
I
got inspired.
That was great.
Feel free.
That was great.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Caesar.
That was great. Norby, keep up the bad work. Oh,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Tony A, I got a question to you, Tony A.
Yes.
Wow, that was great.
I'm so
back when
excited.
you were- back when you were studying the word, Tony A, did along while you were doing it, did anything give you the notion that you are the second coming of our Savior Jesus Christ?
Shut the fuck up.
No. No. But I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
But maybe his brother.
Right, because maybe because we're trying to figure out what's going on with these people. Now, for all the men out there that are waiting for some smooth talking son of a bitch to convince, he's not going to convince you because he hasn't shown you shit so far. To at least, well, let's hear him out. Maybe he might be Jesus. You mean? So in the meantime, I'm going to let him run through my wife because I don't want to be the guy to refuse the Son of God perpetrating on my hyena.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Come on.
Right.
You know what I mean? We really want to get to the root of this problem. And the girls, please don't be stupid. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Years ago, I think it was in Orange County in the mansion, a UFO cult did a mass suicide.
Yes. Heaven's
These
Gate.
fucking idiots.
Oh, Heaven's Gate.
Right? They believe that the aliens were going to come and scoop them up after they're dead and take them to space. Shit, man. Now, Caesar from Paris have been okie doke before. You know, I did pay for a 20 and only got a dime once. But to believe, you know what I mean? To believe anybody about anything to show no proof, excuse my French, Mr. Ramirez, but that's like saying a motherfucker got a big follow and could fuck for hours. You're just hearing them out. You don't really believe them.
Right.
You haven't seen nothing. There's thousands of people that could take a good look at a T-bone steak by sticking their head up a bull's ass. But a lot of them would rather take the butcher's word for it.
Right.
They need to wake up. Cults are full of ham and eggers that were never told how special they are. It's a shame. You could call them cults, religion, democracy, clubs, even gangs.
All of that.
They're all people just looking for acceptance or looking to believe in something. When all along, they were never taught first to believe in ourselves. Take a look at the mirror. Take a good look in the mirror. That thing that you're looking for, that special thing you're looking for, is in a very special place.
Aww.
Love yourself. Love your family. Caesar from Paris. Fuck you, Koresh. And
That's
I'm
right.
out.
That's right.
He said, fuck you, Koresh.
Man, I love that. Thank you, Caesar from
Absolutely.
Paris. I love even your language skills. Awesome. I love your analogies. Dope.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't like that, and it's true. Look in the mirror because the best is you. You know, you have that in your heart and the temple. When we preach, you know, the looking. They were trying. That's something. There's some biblical things that I still carry with myself. You know, in the teachings is that they were trying to look for the temple.
Yes.
And where was the temple? It's in our hearts.
Yes.
It's here already. And that's what he said.
Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
What's up, Tony? It's Lattice from West Texas.
Lattice from West Texas. How you doing tonight, Lattice? Thank you for calling in.
Doing well, man. First of all, I want to give my thoughts and condolences out to everybody out there in California. I mean, y'all are going through some shit with those fires.
Thank you.
And I got to say, y'all deserve much better as far as competent leadership, and I really hope that comes to fruition sooner than later.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that.
But as far as the cult thing, Caesar kind of touched on it briefly. You know, when people join gangs, one of the first things they'll mention when you ask an ex-gang leader what they were looking for when they joined a gang, it was love, acceptance, and a place of belonging.
Wow.
And all the bullshit that followed was kind of, you know, they never really anticipated it. They didn't want to land in the lifestyle that they ended up leading. But that's initially what people seek when they're searching out a gang, a cult, any sort of belonging to a group or organization. Because people, by nature, they're tribal, they're social creatures, and they seek out groups to belong to. and that's basically what the need for a cult within many people's hearts.
Yeah, you know what, Laris, let me share something with you really quick on a guest that I had here that belonged to two different neighborhoods. He belonged to one neighborhood, then eventually got jumped out, and he joined another one. So I kind of like set him aside after the interview, and I asked him, what made you leave that neighborhood to join another neighborhood? And he simply told me this. You know what, Tone? He said, I only joined the gang because I wanted friends.
Oh.
That's what he told me.
Oh, that makes me sad.
So, but some people are just looking for
With that comes, but with that, you know, it's not an unconditional love from the gang. They expect more out of you, and oftentimes it's destructive behaviors, which can really land you in more trouble than you arrived there with.
Like you can't say no. Like,
you can't say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
It's irresistible. Yeah. But the main reason I called it was about the cult, as far as how people are being persuaded to join cults, and it comes back to your last show. You talked about hypnosis. When I got into writing, I went into becoming a writer with the inclination that a good writer translates well on paper, but a great writer, their words translate even better audibly. So, if you can put something down on paper and people will, buy into it and, like what you're saying, if you can translate that as a good orator, a good speaker, that's even better. And most of these cult leaders have the gift of gab, like you spoke about.
Yes.
And there was a philosopher, Nietzsche. He once said he was no fan of Christianity or preachers, but he said one of the best people out there, one of the best speakers out there are preachers, because if you realize they know how to captivate the hearts of their followers. He compared their manner of speech to the tapping of rain on a tin roof. If you notice the rhythm that the rain will hit a roof, it'll tap 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 tap, and with that cadence, that prosody, that intonation of words. You know, somebody like Hitler, I mean, as unpopular as he is, when he stood up at the podium, he'd pound the podium with his fist.
Yeah.
He'd raise his fist to the air. He'd accentuate his words with different kinds of gesticulations and innotations in his speech. And that translates into a really a good orator. And if you can do that, you can captivate the minds of many people on a really large scale. And that's what most cult leaders do, like Jim Jones, David Koresh, and others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that gift of gab, that ability to captivate people through the art of speaking and oration, that really goes hand in hand with hypnosis and captivating the crowd.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
Yeah, linguistic language, using linguistic, and what I said, loaded language is actually a term called loaded language. And it's also known, AKA gift of gab, and you're absolutely right. And they're great speakers.
Yes, absolutely. I have to agree with you on that, Laris.
Wow. Exactly. Well, hey, thanks for your call. You got a good show going tonight.
Thank you, my bro.
Thank you.
All right, my brother. Have a blessed night. Peace.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys, once again, the number is 310-221-7360. Make sure you guys dial up and call us. Even if you guys don't want to tap in or chime in on tonight's topic of cult leaders, you guys can share your freaky tales. Once again, 310-221-7360.
Can we ask how many of you guys almost got caught in a cult, or were you felt you were in a cult, maybe growing up, and then you're like, I don't want to be in the cult.
Okay, no, but that would be our next question, okay?
That would be interesting. I want to know.
I already have one up, but...
okay, hold on. Let me get this call.
Okay.
Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
What up, Tony? This is Jose from Yuma, Arizona.
Jose from Yuma, Arizona.
What's
Thank you
up,
for
Jose?
joining, bro, and being a part of the show.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Thank you guys for the Sunday show. Yo, man. So I was working in Deming, New Mexico back in June. And I was working at the jalapeno company out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I always looked, I did a little research because I know that the town looked a little creepy and stuff, old and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Looked into it, and that's where Charles Manson wanted to retire.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
because there was a portal to hell right there called
What?
Hell Canyon Portal.
Interesting.
Wow, I never heard of that, bro.
What state was that in?
Yeah, Deming, New Mexico, and I guess there's an interview right there too where they're interviewing this guy, and he's saying, yeah, I want to retire in Deming, New Mexico because I believe there's a portal to hell, blah blah blah, blah gates to hell, something like that. Yeah, man. I looked into it and I was like, holy shit! It was only like 45 minutes from where I was staying at into the desert.
Yeah. And you
Look
said
into it, guys. This is pretty cool.
okay. You said Deming, New Mexico.
Yes, Deming, New Mexico.
Okay.
We're looking it up. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look up the Deming, New Mexico interview with Charles Manson.
Oh, Charles Manson talked about
That's
it.
where he wanted to retire.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
But here's my thing. Okay, if there is a hell, why would you want to live or retire
In hell.
to the portal of hell? That doesn't make no freaking
That was
sense.
paradise for him.
Yeah. So okay. Well,
That
eventually.
was paradise for him. It wasn't paradise for me over there. Shit, it was ugly as hell.
Yeah. Okay. Norbert, are you looking it up?
Yeah, I see a Hell Canyon Mining District or Hell's Canyon, New Mexico.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Well.
Look,
but
I'll look into
that's
that.
near Deming, New Mexico. Yeah.
It's near Demings. It's an
Yeah,
actual
but look
place.
into it, guys. It's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Oh, it's an actual, and they
Yeah,
call it hell.
man, the whole town, bro, is crazy.
It's all
So
about
the whole
hell.
town closes by 8 o'clock. The whole town is empty.
Oh, it's a sundown town.
Oh. Okay.
It's probably a sundown too. Interesting.
Okay.
But by 8 o'clock, bro, everything's empty, bro, and it's creepy. Everything's like old structures, and it looks like a ghost town.
Yeah, I'm cool with that shit.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
you,
bro.
though.
I felt the tension, bro. Like at nighttime, you can feel it. But look into it, guys. It's pretty cool.
All right, my bro. Thank you for
Jose.
coming
I don't
in.
want to take up too much time, but thank you guys for the Sunday show, man.
Oh,
You guys
good,
have
my
a cool one.
You too, my bro.
Thank you, Jose.
Peace. Okay, once again, guys, the phone number is up. Go ahead and call in. You want to ask me a question or Lily a question or a freaky tale you want to share, or if you just want to chime in on tonight's topic on cult leaders, or maybe you guys may have your own cult leader that you guys want us to cover.
Know. I'm kind of curious to see how many of you guys felt you kind of like saw something cultish, someone in your family or anything like that.
Or in a cult-like relationship.
Or a cult-like relationship too. Could be that too. But yeah, like an actual cult, like something you felt like, oh no, I ain't gonna mess with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I used to bathe this guy, and I used to clip his
Shut up.
toenails.
Shut the fuck
You know
up.
what I'm saying?
Did you guys want to hear the poll that I put up?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, well, it's 9 minutes in, 43 votes. What convinced them to join, meaning the people that joined the cults? There was speech, looks, loneliness, and curious. 30% said because of the speech. 12% said because of looks from the leaders. And 43% said loneliness. And 60% said curious.
Okay. 60, you said?
16.
Oh, 16, okay. Yeah. Once again, guys, 310-221-7360. Let's blow up these phone lines. Whoever wants to chime in, let's go. The phone lines are now open. And let's go ahead and ask another poll question. And the poll question would be, Lily, how many of you believe that you were once in a cult or possible?
Yeah, like how many of you guys believe if anybody was in a cult, like, or do you believe you were involved in a cult without knowing you're in a cult?
Okay, here we go, Norbies. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
This is Adam in Boston.
Adam from Boston. If you don't mind me asking you, what part of Boston?
East Coast.
Charlestown.
Well, I'm sorry, what was that?
Charlestown.
Oh, Charlestown. You know what? The reason why I'm asking is because even though I live in the city of Wilmington, I have family that lives in Wilmington, Mass.
Oh.
All good. But anyway, did you have a question? Or you just wanted to chime in tonight? First and foremost, let me ask you, are you enjoying it?
Oh. Always. She's talking about narcissism and
your phone is breaking up.
Away.
There you go.
Okay, can you say that again? Because
your phone was.
You were cutting off.
Can you hear me better?
Now we can hear you.
Okay. A lot of the people who join gangs are narcissists.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe the gang leaders?
Gang leaders.
And also the cult.
The cults.
Well, there's also religions dedicated to being narcissists and perfecting. They think it's a winning strategy, that it's always the art of war with you. And to be a narcissist is, in their estimation, the best path to dominating you.
Wow.
And they're hollow people. And I guess they actually serve the devil, and they're all in a network. I guess all the narcissists all over the world, regardless of their race.
They're an energetic field network.
And they have like, not implants, but like spiritual connections to, and they just want to drain your energy. And even like a lot of the lyrics I hear in music are promoting narcissism.
Yeah, you're right. Good point. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But I appreciate you coming on and talking about narcissism. And I wish everybody a great night out there.
You know what? I had a question for you. Okay. I don't know if Lily has anything for you, but I want to ask you this. What made you bring up narcissism? Did you have a bad experience with one, or do you have a family member that's one, or like, what is your experience with narcissists?
Good question.
Well, it just popped up in my algorithm one day, and I realized that, yes, I have narcissists all around me in my family.
Wow.
And in the new year, I just changed my phone number and just cut off contact with them. And yeah, just through the YouTube algorithm, learning about narcissists is eye-opening, and everyone out listening should definitely put that in their search bar.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. That I was telling Tony,
Yeah.
I didn't know what narcissist was like until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I feeling like this? What happened? Questioning my own reality. And those, you remember I was on the phone.
Yeah,
You were like, oh my God, you sounded horrible. And really looking into what that was. And so that is, and he did call himself, and on a serious level, without me messing around and talking shit, but it's the reality. He really, he said he was God. Like he really did that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I was
He
around
was
that.
the devil. He was hollow.
Yeah.
Big time.
There was nothing inside of him. He was empty.
Yep.
You know what's funny that you say that? It's because you look at a lot of these rappers, and I'm not picking on them, but I'm just going to say this because of this one quote. A lot of these rappers like to decorate themselves with bling and name brand clothing. You know why that is? This quote said this: a man who is empty on the inside has to decorate himself on the outside.
Interesting. Very good. That's a good one. They like to put a false image out.
Yes.
Right? And that's what narcissists do too. If you were surrounded by them, it's good. And to what they call in therapy, they say, cut them off cold turkey. Like you just have to just cut, no contact.
Yeah.
And that's why when people say, have you seen
before I leave, I want to leave Tony with this quote. Every time the wicked speak, someone is hurt, but the words of the wise can heal.
I agree.
Ooh, I like that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. A lot of people need to realize that your words can literally bless someone and encourage them and lift them up and motivate them. But with the same tongue, you can truly, truly damage someone for a long time.
Yes. Yes.
For a long time. And all of us at one point have said something hurtful to someone.
Yes.
But when you accept accountability and maybe you stop saying I'm sorry, but you change your behavior, that's
right.
the biggest I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, what up, Tony and Liliflor? My name is Jaden, calling from Sacramento.
Jaden from Sacramento. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. Just wanted to speak on the topic of cults.
Yes.
Have you heard of, I know you've heard of the Mormon Church, but have you heard about the FLDS, the Fundamental Church of Latter-day Saints.
Yes.
I believe that's one of the. I'm trying to remember the guy's name that he broke away from the Mormon Church. They
It was
condemned.
John. He got a revelation in
Warren Jeffs.
Yeah, I know it's a J. Okay, because I'm visual. But
Okay,
yeah,
yes.
he got a revelation in the woods or something like that. That's him.
Okay, no, maybe you're talking about Joseph Smith, the founder of the
Joseph
Mormon
Smith.
Church.
Oh, that was a different one. That was a different one.
Yeah, but I know who you're talking about.
That's
But
the founder, yeah.
go ahead.
Well, I was watching a little mini documentary by the guy who actually did Marvelous Inc.'s neighborhood tour, Peter Santanello.
Yes.
He went up to Utah, Salt Lake City, and he interviewed people who are part of that, because there's the LDS, which is just the regular Mormons, and then there was the SLDS, where they believed in polygamy and all this stuff.
That's the group, yes.
Okay.
And the guy who led it was Warren Jeffs, and right now he's doing life for, being with underage kids.
Yeah. Norbert, look him up.
What was his name?
Yeah, and Warren Jeffs with F. Warren Jeffs.
He had wives that were like 14, 13 years old.
Yeah. The same like the La Luz del Mundo. Yeah, children.
That's him. Put the one of him smiling. Put the one of him over here to the right.
That one.
Right there.
Oh, qué feo.
That's a sick bastard.
Está re feo el cabrón.
I know. Go ahead, my bro.
Yeah, he had almost 80 wives.
What?
Yeah.
And yeah, like over 100 children, something like that. Really crazy. And just listening to the people who are part of it, it's really crazy, because the women, they wouldn't want to leave, like, once they woke up to that this was a cult, because in the Mormon religion, you have to go do, I don't know what it's called, but like they go knock on doors and they go to other countries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Missionary work.
Yeah.
They would say, they would say, if you broke apart, you're an apostate now. So if you try to get custody of your kids, they would just say, oh, they ran away. But in reality, the church would go send them on those missionaries to other countries, and you wouldn't even know.
What?
Yeah.
So a lot of these women were just like scared to leave, because they didn't want their kids to be disappeared, and a lot of kids disappear over there. It's just, man, it was crazy. If you check it out on
That's
Peter Santanello's channel.
Yeah, you know what? And there's a documentary on him, SLDS. And what was his name again, Norbert, right there?
Warren Jeffs.
Everybody look him up. There is a documentary on him, and that whole cult thing. This guy will sleep with little girls, and if you really, really look at it, his whole religion was just pretty much based on sex.
He was a pedophile.
A bunch of horn dogs hiding behind religion because they're pedophiles.
They're fucking pedophiles.
Yeah.
That's pedophile.
You look at a guy like, what's his name? We'll cover him, David Koresh. This guy, at one point, claimed just to be a messenger, eventually claimed to be just Jesus, and then eventually just claimed to be God, and then was telling people, you know what? This is your wife. She's going to stay faithful to you, but she could only sleep with me.
Oh, no.
That's what he was doing. And people were saying,
okay,
go, babe. Go. He's the Lamb. He's the Lamb of God. And they were handing over their wives, and it was all based on sex. Okay? Look, you want me to burst your bubble real quick? I believe that the Mormons, when they pass away, if they did enough works, they get 72 virgins. The Muslims, when they pass away, they get 70 virgins.
I don't know. I didn't do that. Sorry. No.
You know, it's all based on sex, bro.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, bro. What they really need to do is cut off their wiener. That's what they need to do.
For real.
Yeah. They need to castrate
crazy
them.
when it's,
All right, take his ugly ass off, bro. I don't want to see him.
blur from religion and cult.
Yeah. Thank you, my bro. I appreciate you calling in, taking the time, and telling us about this weirdo.
His face, I see.
Yep, it's a great show.
Thank you, my bro. All right. Have a blessed night.
Everybody wants a virgin until they need a professional.
Yeah. Till they meet a professional. But you know what's crazy? A lot of these religions don't benefit women because these men can have all these wives, but a wife can't have multiple men.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't benefit a woman to be a part of these cults.
But they're groomed like that, especially if they're little. So that's they brainwash already, and that's abuse, and that.
And in that religion, there were mothers that were handing over their daughters as well.
Yeah. So what happens? This is one that I told you is called memetics. Did I tell you about memetics?
No.
So memetics, it's actually a neuroscientific fact. You can look it up. It's called memetics. It's that when you're emotionally, you get harvested your energy through emotions, right?
Hold that thought. We got a call.
Okay.
Caller, your name and where you calling from? All right, he hung up. Go ahead.
He got shy.
He got shy. He probably belongs to an occult.
So with memetics, it's like it's your brain is rewired through emotion. So it jumps from that emotional thought jumps from side to side in the cortex here, and so it's almost like a virus. It's called memetics, and that's how brainwashing happens, and you're rewired, and so that's how these people function like robots.
Wow. But this guy was a sick bastard. If you got time to waste, look up his documentary. Okay, it's up there, and it shows all his wives, all the girls that he's with, and all in the name of Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon and Moroni, who appeared to Joseph Smith in upstate New York, showed him the golden tablets that were written in Reformed Egyptian.
the golden tablets.
And he wrote them down, and Moroni went back to the planet Kolarb or some crap like that.
No, that's crazy.
I mean, if you take that whole script, give it to Steven Spielberg, he'll make a great-ass science fiction movie.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Hey, I wonder if I asked a question to the audience if there was an adult-only sex cult, would they join?
Well, isn't that like strip clubs?
No.
Adult-only sex cult.
That would be a swingers party.
Would
And
they
the
join?
swingers do that.
Now that I did actually want to ask Lades that question, if that would be a form of cult as far as swinger clubs.
No, because they're not forced.
No, you're right. Well,
they're not forced.
But they're being groomed. That's a form.
I don't know
Are
if
they
they're
being
being
groomed?
Well, they could be. Because my ex tried to groom me. But that didn't happen. But no.
If he's watching, he's hating you right now.
Oh, yeah. But it's cool. I'm spilling the tea. ¿Sabes qué me vale?
Okay, so I am curious if the audience would join it or not join, males and females.
Okay, everybody. 310-221-7360. The phone lines are now open. We're gonna take a couple of more if you guys want to call in and be a part of tonight's show. If not, we're just gonna continue until we got about 10 more minutes. Let's try to get at least 2 to 3 more phone calls in. Once again, I like to say, if you got the balls, make the calls. Freaky Tales, once again, is live on the air, so go ahead and call in. And if you guys don't want to chime in on the topic of cult leaders, maybe you may have a story you may want to share, or maybe you just have a question. Call in right now. Liliflor is in the building.
Can I say something? You know the evangelical church, the one that has the ladies wearing the long skirts and all of that?
Uh-huh.
Like, I think that's like a cult.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was cultish. I had friends that would, their parents would make them dress up like that with the long skirt and everything. And then, of course, I had friends that when they went to school, they took off the long skirt. And then when they went home, they put it. So that to me seemed very cultish.
And I looked into that. And to be quite honest, dressing from neck to ankle is not necessarily biblical, but I think what they were trying to do was look modest. But now, in all fairness, I want to say this. Not to bash the church, but to bash the people that were making their members dress like that. When you make someone and tell them, this is the way we dress here, now you're making them. I think if you're going to dress like that, let it come from you.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be told to you,
yeah.
How you should dress. Now, at the same time, let's look at the Islamic religion with the burqas.
With the thing
yeah.
And they're willingly doing it.
Willingly doing it.
I have a friend. She was my roommate. Okay, I'm not going to say names because I had many roommates. I'm going to do a show called Roommates. Anyway, so she now she's she's Islamic, Muslim now.
Right.
And she dresses like that. And she's an artist, and I'm just like, how can this happen? Like, and with all due respect, and that's her choice and stuff, but she willingly is doing it. So
Here we go.
Many women are.
Caller, your name and where are you calling from? Hello, caller. Caller, you there? Give him about 3 seconds.
Skirt.
1,
Yo, skirt.
2, 3. Call back 805. Caller from the 805. Call back. The phone lines are now open. And
I don't bite or do hexes, only on Sundays.
there you go. Okay, everybody. Once again, 310-221-7360. Let's go ahead and call. Even if you just want to call in and make a noise.
That's right.
And hang up. Crank call us.
Pero no se echen un pedo.
All right, so we're in agreement. Swingers clubs is not a cult.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think it's a cult.
Okay. I mean, if you're looking for justification, Norbert, just say so.
Just want to go fuck around.
Okay.
Hey.
Here we go.
Fuck around.
Caller, your name or where are you calling from? Caller. Call up in the 805.
Ooh, 805 Ventura.
Bro, at least give us some type of breathing that you're there. Okay, I'm going to hang up on you, caller, because I think you're just playing from the 805. We haven't lost connection. We're still connected. We're going to take one more phone call, and then we're out of here. So, once again, 310-221-7360, and go ahead and call us and tell us your freaky story. Or chime in on today's topic, which is cult leaders. Norbert, you have another poll question, right?
Well, yes.
Well, how long has it been up there before you read it?
It's been 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, we'll wait. That will be our last one. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and log out of these calls because you guys are...
Is there any comments that are interesting that we should know about, or questions in the comments? Maybe you don't want to call, but comment questions are welcomed.
There you go.
Yeah, let's see. Because some people are shy. Some people have called in actually very nervous and then just hung up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, let me see, Claire. Okay, we could take these off now, Lily.
Okay, good.
Okay, so now, once again, let me go ahead and turn these comments on. Norbert, do we have any super chats at all?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, let's see. So we have about, right now, just on the live chat alone, we have about 246. So let's see if anybody left any comment or any questions. Let me see.
Why are you laughing?
There's a comment here that just, I'll read it to you guys. It's from 805 Plumbing and Drains. Norby's is the leader of Taco Bell cult. He wears a white robe and turns off the lights as a ceremony to eat gorditas.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Hey.
I like that.
I kind of like that.
Right?
Yeah.
I turned to Taco Bell. You know what? That's one thing. Okay. I try to eat as healthy as I can, but I like Taco Bell. I like the hard tacos.
Hey.
Yes, I do.
Hey.
Right.
All right.
I do. I like Mr. Taco Bell.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think the last time we came, we brought Taco Bell, huh? One of the times.
One of the time. Yeah, I think so. You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
Taco Bell.
Lily, here's what I'm going to do eventually, maybe in about a month, if you're interested. I would like to bring you back and we'll do part 2 and we'll cover 2 more cult leaders.
All right. That sounds
Okay,
cool. I mean, I hope you guys liked me being on the show, you know.
I truly enjoyed it.
I think I enjoyed being the guest sidekick today. It was fun.
Hey.
And I don't know, I think maybe I did a B12 shot today. So I'm like real hype right now. Like if I drank, I don't know, like a Red Bull, but I had a shot before I came, and an injection, and it's my first time today, like really being out with my family and community, you know, and being here. I say this is community because you created a community here, and I really appreciate it, even though it was last minute. But I was able to swing it, so to me, it was fine because I'm like, oh my God, I'm outside.
Yeah, exactly. All good. No, but we would definitely love to have you back. I will let you know ahead of time so that I'll shoot you the 2 cult leaders, and then we'll go ahead and cover them, and we'll go ahead and take calls and elaborate a little bit on them, because I do believe that it's interesting to cover these people, because, you know, my thing, Lily, when it comes to these cult leaders, like I've always thought to myself, you know, I'm a big fan of cult documentaries, okay? Mm-hmm. Because I really want to know what's going on up here with these guys. You know, what is it about them that people would work and invest all their money into a cult leader? They're willing to abandon their family, and at times even their children, to follow this guy. Even as far as saying, I would kill for this guy if he asked me. Wherever he went, I want to be with him. Whatever he says, I believe. Doesn't matter what he does, there is no wrong. I won't question him. My loyalty is to him. That right there fascinates me in a way where I think to myself, what the hell did this guy do to you?
Yeah. And that's it's happened throughout history, you know.
And let's be honest, Lily. There are times in relationships, and I'm sorry to break people's hearts, that some boyfriends or maybe even some girlfriends have the partner like that.
Yeah, they do. They do. Even relatives and non-relationship people do that. It's dynamics of power, you know.
You know, Lily, I truly do believe in accountability, and let me say it this way. This is my belief, okay? I do believe in intelligent design. I do believe that there is a God. So let me give the audience a hypothetical scenario here. So let's just say that me and you were a couple, okay? And you had given me your heart 100%. I can do two things. I can love you back the same way you love me, or I could think, wow, I really do have her. Hey, babe, I need you to go and do this for me. Now I'm abusing the love that you have for me.
Yeah.
Now I'm manipulating you to do wrong.
Yeah.
I truly do believe that one day when I meet my maker, I'm going to be held accountable for how I misuse your trust and your love.
Yeah. That's true. True word. You know, Miguel Ruiz talked about that, and I think he talked about it in the Four Agreements. I don't know if you heard of the book, The Four Agreements. It's a Tolteca way, and it's a really good book. Actually, he wrote a couple, The Way to Love. It's you should read them. It's actually really good. He talked about how we as people, we were looking for someone to save us, whether it's a relationship or politician or an artist, you know, they're going to be the savior. And so we hold our hearts in our hands and we give it to them.
Yeah.
And expecting that they're going to create this miracle for us, when, like the caller that called in said, the first one says, I don't remember that. We look in the mirror and we have it here, you know. Yeah. God is within us. Creator is within us. You know, we have that. You could pray anywhere, you know. Right. And that love, you know, is already here. You're born with it. Yeah. And that's where humanity fails. And because you're broken spirit, people take advantage. Yeah. And that they're going to be accountable.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Here's another thing that I wanted to I guess, convey to you. Okay. You're an artist, right? And I believe you're a good artist. I've seen your work. Now, I want to ask you this, Lily. Do you believe you were born with that gift, or do you think you just learned to get good?
I was born with the gift.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. Because I truly do believe that there are some people that are born with gifts, okay? Let's just say that this guy, Jaime Gomez, or Jesus Luis Miranda, let's just say that they were born with the gift of gab.
They were that saying? Yeah, right, they were born with the gift of gab.
They were born. Now, you could do good or you could do bad.
Yeah, because they say the tongue puede dañar también.
Yes. So I think that these guys realized, like, wow, these guys, like, I got all these people following me, and instead of maybe leading them down the right path,
I'm going to take advantage.
I'm going to
make money. I'm going to do this, and I could do that. I could live my fantasy, and I could do all this stuff. Yeah. They do.
And you know what? And to a certain extent, that's what celebrities do, and we need to stop idolizing celebrities.
Yeah, definitely stop idolizing celebrities. Yeah, yeah. That culture it's the demise of a lot of things, even our society. Look, even like the fires that are going on. You know, people are more concerned about celebrities' homes. You know, after them, whatever. But they have a second home in New York and fucking an island, whatever. Sorry, not sorry. They built on native land, you know, period, you know, and when you idolize people and you forget the people from Altadena, which is mostly people of color, and then you start saying that they're looting and all this shit, and then that's where you see they rather idolize that than to really look at the actual history and the backdrop of how colonization happened. And this is why I wore this hat today. To remember when these colonizers landed here and they destroyed and colonized the land, because the Santana winds have always existed and the native people always took care of this land. And so that arrogance it's passed on through celebrity culture too. Yeah. And so we idolize people that we shouldn't, you know, and that's also destroys us individually and also communally.
You know, all we hear is stuff like, oh my God, the Kardashians' home got burned down.
Oh, fuck.
That's what she said.
Hey, I am glad she brought up her hat because quite a lot of people asked about your hat on the chat.
Yeah,
They
my
want to
homie
know-
did this. Yo, hit him up. There's 14 attitude. That's his IG. I'll tag him tonight. We'll do a picture and I'll tag him, and then you could order. I ordered from him. I also support my artist friends too, and he has some really cool hats on deck. Right? Dope.
On what?
All good. Other than that, Norbert, you want to go ahead and read those super chats? I think we got 2 of them.
Yes, we do.
Go ahead.
And the polls have been up for
Show your
24
face.
minutes.
Don't hide.
Oh.
Show that lovely coat face.
Hey, we agreed it's not a cult. Hey,
Okay.
Anyways, do you want me to read the poll? It's 25 minutes already.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. So, how many believe that they were in a cult, or someone you knew was in a cult?
Yeah.
I totally worded it horribly.
Yeah.
So my
That's
apologies. We had 81 votes, and
wow,
16% said yes, it was me. 21% yes, I knew somebody.
Wow.
And 63% said no, not ever.
Wow. So it's a high percentage of people knew someone.
Yeah. They knew someone.
Yeah. All right, and then let's go on to the super chats. We have 2 super chats. 805 Plumbing and I cut off the rest of the names.
805 was the caller.
He said he dropped $2. Said rest in peace. Freddie Risk is a leader of Trans Cult.
Freddie Risk.
Who's that?
I have no idea.
Trans Cult.
I never heard of that.
Me either.
We'll look him up. We'll look him up.
Jonathan Calleros dropped $1.99 and said, "How far do cults date back?" And then I also said, "Great show, by the way."
How far do cults take back? That's a
You
good
can
question.
keep going back.
I think to the end of time, but I mean,
Yeah,
the beginning of time.
beginning
but
of
let me
time.
see.
Yeah.
Hey, would you guys say Scientology is a form of cult?
I believe so.
Yes, it is. But it's like I said, they're in categories because it's
Yeah.
not a religion. But it is
Yes.
a cult. It's a made up one.
Possibly hiding behind a religion.
Okay, so the earliest recorded cult was in the 17th century.
Okay.
They recorded, but it could have been sooner. You know what I mean?
Who's Freddie? Look him up.
Freddie Risk?
Yeah, I don't know who Freddie Risk is. So
Sounds interesting.
yeah, I never heard. Not him. So,
Freddie Risk sounds like a breakdancer.
Freddie
Freddie
Risk.
Risk.
He's willing to risk it all.
I was thinking like a Bay Area rapper.
A rapper, yeah.
Sounds cool.
Tony is the leader of the what did it say? Hell Bop cult. No, he's the leader of the Freaky Tales cult.
No, I'm not getting anything for Freddie Risk. I got a Freddie Mac, but I don't got a Freddie Risk.
Okay, somebody put it's a joke in the chat. Freddie Risk.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe we said it and it means something else. Freddie Risk.
It's an inside joke for the live chat. So
okay, cool.
Way to go, live chat, for making us feel out of what do you call
All good.
it?
Okay, Norbert, really quick, show your face. I want to ask you a question live on the air, and I want to see people's reactions.
All right, go ahead.
Your reaction. I want people to see you. Overall, tonight, we talked about cult leaders. What is your take on all that from tonight, from what you heard of Jesus Luis Miranda and Jaime Gomez, a.k.a. Michelle, a.k.a. Andres, a.k.a. the Speedo eyeliner gay cult leader?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, and I was having a conversation actually today with my dad about this sort of situation and why so many people would follow them. And at the end, I like to think that it does come from a lot of not only loneliness, but for the fact that a lot of these people never really grew up with roots. They really never knew who they were, where they came from, what's their background.
Right.
They just came from parents that never really explained to them who they were.
Identity crisis.
Their identity crisis and add loneliness, and around those times also drugs.
Yep.
I think all those things played a major role as far as putting people. And then you do have the young ones, the children that unfortunately their parents groomed them to be part of these things. And children, their children are dumb. Now, they're not dumb. They just don't know anything. And this is what I tell a lot of people.
Developed.
Kids they're born with no knowledge of this society. You can't expect them to know exactly. what they're doing.
And it's the job of the parents to lead them.
And it's the job of the parent. And unfortunately, some of those parents groom them.
Yeah.
And for them, that's their reality.
Yeah.
Mine's a fragile thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Lily, any last words? If not, go ahead and give your shout outs.
I just want to say thank you, Freaky Tales. I hope that you guys enjoyed my time here on the show, and I hope to be back. Thank you, Tony, for inviting me.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it, and it's so good to see Norby's in the studio.
Hey,
Norb's
thank
fams too, and so is Tony and his family, and I'm just happy to be here and happy to be out in community, and I say community here through social media or through this platform of YouTube, and we have over 200 people today in the chat. So I really appreciate y'all tuning in and sticking it through, and I hope to see you guys soon. And please do me a follow, give me that 10K. Hey,
Absolutely. Go ahead and give Lily a follow, you guys.
Gracias, Kamati.
And if you guys want to order anything or look at her art, once again, the link is in her bio, so definitely go ahead and check that out. Other than that, Lily, thank you for coming through. Like I said, it's always great to have you here. Hopefully in about a month we could do a part 2, and we'll bless the people with your presence, your knowledge, and I think it's great that what we did today, that we covered on something that was actually kind of freaky, cult leaders.
Yeah.
So other than that, I'm going to give a shout out to my team. And once again, News of Norby's, you guys know who he is already. The Hip Hop Jedi, Alex Cervantes Enterprise, my son B. Scanless, who helps me promote this. And once again, Forever Genesis of Dark Secrets. Other than that, thank everybody on the live chat, everybody who liked, comment, subscribed, everybody who unsubscribed, everybody who shared, everybody, all you podcasters with fake accounts that were watching tonight. Much love and respect to you guys. Other than that, I got nothing but love for you guys. Once again, blessed. Yeah, stay blessed, and we'll see you guys next time. So once again, thank you, Lily.
Gracias. That's all.
So we're out of here. Take us away, Norby's.